Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series at Golden Max in its multiplayer season in Asphalt 9. Please consider subscribing if you have not already, and be sure to check out my Furum Clips channel, Furum TV channel, and the Purple Team Discord. Links to all those will be in the description, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So, the AMG GT Black Series is a higher-end C-Class car, at least in terms of rank, that when we first saw its stats, we thought, or at least I thought, this could be a great competitor to some of the top cars of Class C. But after seeing its drifting, yeah, we figured out that that was not entirely the case. This car does have some things going for it. It has a pretty good nitro efficiency, its acceleration is fairly high for Class C, but its top speed, while being above average for Class C, is worse than that of the Gallardo, which beats this car on pretty much every track. The Gallardo does have worse acceleration, so the AMG GT gets ahead in the beginning, but then the Gallardo catches up around almost any turn that you throw at it. This car drifts like a tub of butter, or at least that's what it feels like to me. It isn't the worst drifting car in the game, but it's certainly in the lower half or lower third, I would say. Definitely below average in that department. Now, how was my enjoyment driving it? It was okay. Overall, it was fine, but the drifting definitely put a hamper on what otherwise could have been a very fun to drive car. So I really don't think this is going to be a king on anything. If the Gallardo can beat it everywhere, the Aranera is definitely going to be able to beat it anywhere where the Aranera beats the Gallardo. So yeah, it could possibly be able to beat the 599XX on some more top speed oriented tracks, but I don't even know that for sure. All this being said, this car is not one worth spending a lot of tokens on if you have any of those cars I previously mentioned, or like the McLaren GT, just some of the cars that are known to be kings of C-Class currently. This one is not worth trying to star up. Now, the good news is, I sandbagged in its Grand Prix by purposefully getting a slower time in the qualifiers to try and get an easier bracket, and I should be guaranteed to get the car. I am currently second in a tier 4 bracket. I would be first, but I completely forgot to play a day. I got first place on every day, except for obviously the one I forgot to play, so I'm in second place. But yeah, since the top 2 players in tier 4 do get the car guaranteed, this should be my 127th car, I think it is at this point. And while I don't plan to spend any tokens on this car, nor probably play it or use it ever again, it's always great to get extra free cars in your garage, particularly in the case where they become useful in some special event that you want to get far in. This is honestly the biggest reason why it is worth spending time on free cars like this one. Which mainly require you to, say, sandbag in a Grand Prix, something that doesn't take a lot of time. Obviously, there are a lot of cars that I don't have that you can get for free by playing something like the Car Hunt, but I just do not have time to commit a lot of, like, those hundreds of races you have to do in order to get and star up those cars. But ones like these, I just have to play 15 minutes every couple days. I would definitely say ones like these are worth trying to unlock if you can without spending tokens. Now, when I first drove this car in its Grand Prix, I thought its drifting was even worse than it actually was. You know, you start out in the Grand Prix at 1 star, and the 1-star drifting of this car is even worse than its noticeably bad drifting at 5 stars. Not only that, the very first qualifier was on a Paris track where you drove underneath the Eiffel Tower at the beginning, and the planes fly by. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. But for some reason, there is some kind of trigger or something left on the track when you go under the Eiffel Tower and the planes fly by that slows down the game. I don't know by how much, it's not by a lot. It may be by like 30% or something like that. It's not super noticeable. But the thing is, there's a big turn after that, and the car feels like it's drifting even slower because the game is already slowed down. So everything conspired to make the first experience of driving this car for most players truly awful in how it drifted. And the thing is about that trigger to make the game slow down, it does not actually disappear, I don't think, at any point during the track, or at least not as soon after the place where it starts as you might expect. And this race right here was one of the closest I played the entire season. Me and this other guy kept going back and forth the entire way, just right on each other's tails. I was able to take the victory in the end, but not an easy one to win by any means. So back to that Paris variant, it was also used on the first day of the McLaren 600 LT Unleashed event that just happened. And it had the same issue. It had the same slowdown when going under the Eiffel Tower. I'm not sure if this is just some oversight. I doubt they meant for this to happen. In fact, the slowdown is not so bad that it's super easy even to notice. I didn't even notice it at first. I knew something felt weird on the track, but it wasn't until somebody pointed out in my Discord, which you should join by the way, that I played it and realized, yeah, this really is happening. Everything feels almost in slow motion. Super strange. I don't remember anything like this happening before in Asphalt 9. And this is just kind of a little side note, but the 600 LT looks very similar to a lot of the other McLarens in the game to me, which makes sense since they were built pretty much on the same platform. But particularly, it reminds me a lot of the 570S, and I always get deja vu whenever I look at it. Like, don't I already have this car? I think it's a track version of the 570S or something like that. But yeah, I just get a little bit confused every time I see it. And it also looks a little bit like the McLaren GT as well. Now, toward the end of this Nevada track, we really get to see just how bad this car's drifting really is. I go out, and I just barely managed to not hit the side there. If the drifting were any worse, I definitely would have, or if I had not started drifting early enough on that turn. That turn is definitely one where you want to start drifting early if you know your car drifts badly so as not to hit the side. Oh, and in other news, we're only about a week away from the release of my new Asphalt 9 song. It's been too long, almost 2 years since my last one. But yeah, I'm working on finishing up the video right now. Probably within the next few days, I'll officially schedule the premiere time. You can probably expect it to be about a week or maybe 8 or 9 days or so away from now. But yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. And with that, it's time for my general review of the AMG GT Black Series, as we are in our final race and in a pretty tight battle with this guy right up here. The car itself is fine. It's got good acceleration and decent nitro efficiency for Class C, as well as above average top speed, but it isn't fast enough to counteract the poor drifting, and it loses to the Gallardo pretty much everywhere. So if you have any of the C-Class cars, top-end C-Class cars, the Kings already, I wouldn't recommend spending a lot on this one, but if you can get it for free in its Grand Prix, worth going for. Just add another car to the garage for free if you can. And with that, we take the victory in this final race. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt, Forza, Minecraft, and other games content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!